Corona, now they picking, now they watch fair. Let me tell you the truth.
Say mama, tell her we stop social distancing, now they keep passing.
So make me all your take the precaution, put them up. Corona, no limba, enough to be mende.
Fambul, Ado, I don't come back with another edition of we program. Now we Tap Corona Na Salone. Na Radio Mount Aureol-CTN Afrabe College. Na Freeton join on with the radio station where they listen to so for bring this program to you. And our Foundation Hirondelle na Switzerland, they battle this program with funding from the H2H Network Fund and the Danish Refuges Council. We last program be focused on waiting with religious leaders them for they do for make sure say we mosques and church them safe for all man where they go worship God. For this program, the focus go shift to the role of the ordinary member them na mosques and church for make sure say we all safe from this corona sickness here so. Me now una presenter Bintu Mansare. But first, make I remind you again about the announcements where President Julius Maada Bio been do for lift the ban on gathering na mosques and church them na the country.
Based on expert advice on the aerosol transmission of COVID-19 and the possible risk of rapid community infection among congregations, we advisedly closed all places of worship. I have since then held multiple consultations with the Interreligious Council, the Ministry of Social Welfare, Ministry of Health officials, NACOVAC officials, experts, and other stakeholders. The leadership of the Interreligious Council drafted proposals covering infection prevention protocols, capacity management, social distancing, and social mobilization, among others. Experts have closely examined the proposed measures and advised no objections to those proposals. I'm therefore pleased to announce that effective Monday, 14th of July 2020, all mosques and churches and other places of worship shall be open for congregation and worship. NACOVAC will announce a comprehensive list of enforceable measures as proposed by the Interreligious Council. Congregation leaders are expected to help enforce full compliance with all measures at their places of worship.
That's now President Julius Maada Bio as him been they announced the lifting of the ban on gathering na mosques and church them. So waiting for be the role of the ordinary member them where the master sabi people them they call congregation for make sure say all man where they go pray to God safe and safe for Tap Corona na the country. Let we go na corner for a waiting worshiper them say to Kadia to saw where they walk na radio news song na Koidu City.
Well, me na Faith Fatita Mose and the worship and the New Harvest Ministry where they na corner. Well, to start with, since the government we don't lift the ban say all churches and mosques them for open, and then give a particular procedure where they say all worshipper or everybody in a church and mosques for observe. So like I don't listen but that me say when I can go church I can make sure say after I don't then I also don't dress I they put me hand sanitizer inside my bag before I enter the church. I make sure say I sanitize my hand and even use my face mask. Even though we get a veronical bucket outside the church, the mosque, and same also we get somebody wake it up, get the thermometer for check the temperature, and same also give you hand sanitizer for sister yourself go sanitize the hand. But myself can go to my personal hand sanitizer for sister whenever I sit down and a few minutes I sanitize my hand.
So now church, normally they can get one song where they sing, my hands are blessed. So when you observe that presently?
Well, of course, based on the law and way and give or how we for prevent this COVID-19, you don't need church body or you don't need the upskin business. So like for now, we need to observe that. Even though we find them difficult because before this time here, whenever we dance church, we laugh to each other, we rub skin with each other, we hug each other because we get some songs that we can sing, we hug each other. But for now, presently, we need to observe nothing like that.
So how the sitting position look like, Una Kingo?
Well, for Seka, the church we may attend, the church in big, so God be the glory. And with chairs that we get, today the chairs all over they put now the church where everybody they go, they place the damn parts. For now, we know they do that. So in that light, we they put chairs and we know say space they with the space there between each and everybody where they sit down, and then they go when they say dance them or praise and worship them, you they team up comfortable, so you there, you need to shake, you need to move from so you sit down or so you team up, you go to your next friend for go touch because of based on the songs that we can sing. For now we need to observe that, and same also we sit in position for now. Okay.
So what will be your message to other worshippers?
Well, my message to other worshippers and that since that the Bible made mention say we will always respect we elders them, we leaders them, and this particular information coming from the government find the rule we na a leader and God na don't appoint them. So I will send this message to my fellow worshippers them say even though it's not easy at this time we don't find yourself, but I will talk to them, make we all observe the law them way masters, having people and forsake our body business don't put in place, and same also waiting government they expect from we make we all do that. For say we self go help for the government in this fight here, as this fight here not so one person first or not so Papa government alone of first is first here, but not everybody not see.
I'm a Muslim. I attend the Masjid Ansar, we locate in Kwedu City. Name Abdullah Karifala Kamara. All right, thank you so much for this question. As the COVID-19 we don't come to this country here, where that we don't put on hold for long we don't go mosque or neither church for go pray. But as far as government we don't lift ban, what we can do mostly, say we are Muslims that we can all ablution. After the ablution I can use me sanitizer, make sure I sanitize me, and also I use my face mask even while in a mosque, and after prayer I can always use my face mask. During prayer we use face masks, and also after we observe social distance, just like we think them we put in place. We need with those electric day. Now we need to do that anymore in a mosque.
Muslim then can get one thing inside mosque. Then he say we unatinap na the safa from near the angel or Satan go come pass me dununa.
Well, this don't affect me greatly because say that's na sunnah of Muhammad, and also God make mention of that in the Holy Quran. But looking at the world when a pandemic business, and also Saudi Arabia when a Mecca, and also then say back now we didn't can pray because like some of we they watch TV we can normally watch them when they pray the near cluster. So like in Africa.
So how many feet like una can?
6 feet. So like the space they did now we try to know the left space, but now the left because of the corona. The one they went in before Islam na the world when Saudi. Waiting you back we back the Falamakata wood in Asaloya and Kono to be precise.
Waiting will be your message to other colleague worshippers where they go mosques, waiting and say maybe if they're not near themselves when they pray doing prayers, then God no go answer the prayer or Satan go interrupt. My
message to them, I made always remember this way God been telling in the Quran say, no matter how God telling in the Quran say, fitna again for come out the world, make all Muslims make sure he protect himself based on. So now the fitna don't cancel or anything? Well, perhaps not the fitna and don't cancel because like God be make mention of them of the fitna them who get for face na the world na the different verses them in the Quran. So like if them fitna then don't come, more we listen to the medical advice, and also more could follow the doctors also in the tell follow what and follow use sanitizer, and also follow observe social distance, also put on a face mask all they pray. Because according to the medical plans, corona they transfer through breathing and through cough, and also shake hand. Corona the near on myself, corona they transfer. So low stop all length out until we no do more continue for use face masks and use sanitizer, observe social distance, 6 feet all they pray.
That's not the views of some worshippers them na Kwedu City, Kono District. From Kwedu City, make I go na Pujon, Usa Abubakar Mustafa, the station manager na Radio 1J, we go out and about, forget the views of worshippers them.
Na my name is Suama, I attend Faithful Bible Church, Ujem. Well, as the president of tell we say, we go church, log go to wash, we could wash before we enter, they check with temperature. Would they avoid social distance, not the church one another, na so kiduna church. Well, the chair, the distance, the space is distance there between.
My name is Nasikalo, I attend ROC Church, Ujo. When they go to church, first when they enter inside church, we wash we get face masks, they take with temperature then. So if they enter inside church, we get social distance. We need to touch nobody, even the off road give the pass with the basket then. For love no grab, let all man go touch in copy now. For that mean they pass the basket then. So we need to touch nobody. I want to tell other people that they attend some other churches then, whether they enter inside church, therefore wash their hand, they get their face mask, may they take the temperature there before they enter inside church.
Well, me na Mohammed Sheikh Rogers, na Central Mosque na Pujo. Whereas the COVID-19 be don't start, where government be put stop, say like nobody no go na mosque. So the law we be don't give, is say law they hold on that law, they and the same law with the work out, with the protect yourself, with the get face masks every day, and at the same time nobody know the way they enter na mosque. So it be say wash hand first before you enter there. So we dey parent kind thing, then still where distancing where it be say we they give for. Leo, this sickness affects anybody. So we can wash your hand with soap because the government na in your law and but beside that, even if your government don't tell you say wash your hand, but all the time we would go pray, we can wash your hand first before we start for whole ablution. Where really in a Central Mosque, the distance is very much nice because you can snap here like some here to that side you dey open your hand so you not go able to reach to that other person. And so we pray now we on Central Mosque na Pujon. Yeah. So now this na the team people then what they do na Pujon district Central Mosque na Pujon. We be say for let corona no enter na this district here. So at the same time we they able to talk to people then for let then they do the same thing and then your mosque system. That's go help we the Muslim then. So now that's I get for the
me Nigeria to Masakoi I come up from Zime Makbele. Well me na Muslim. That mosque where the opposite bagi when they call Pakamara mosque na they me they pray. Where we don't start for praying at the mosque, we get a Veronica bucket then. Where post you want enter na mosque, you put soap na your hand, you wash your hand fine with clean water. So where they enter na mosque by you forget face masks. If you not get face masks, they know they allow you for me enter na the mosque. The way they enter for pray, but you know they like how it be the normal, we all ma free for enter or population ki gather, then ki get them distance system. This that social distance normal like how they talk and it ki dey back. Una not in the near how they pray. So now, so then they operate right now.
That's how we see some worshippers them get for say na Pujon. From Pujon, when at the southern region, I they go put Soko na the northern region. Usai Alaji Sanko, where they work na radio back and soccer, safe been go talk to some worshippers them, but waiting for do for make all man safe na the mosque and church them.
Mina Sheikh Jibril say, a member of the Amina Mosque County Street. My role na the mosque for make I get safety whilst I pray. The first place, the regular hand washing, way na one pan the measures that way very important for all worshippers. Dandy, I walk with them because I go, I use clean water and soap and wash my hand first before I hold that ablution. From there, I put on my face mask correctly, where I for cover the mouth and the nose. Then when I enter inside for pray, I for also observe the social distances. If I do then 3 hours, I just don't call. It will be help for make a save life and me own very safe life. We person not go able to capture the virus.
Okay, she can then keep happen in mosques, and by then tell when they go. Normally they don't put lots in enough for she can. What about Andy?
Well, for me, from the very first time we then say this particular virus here, not where they transfer from person to person through shakan when a part of them. And from then I don't left for shakan to people. Would they do that elbow greeting or that test, put me on a test, show that sign there as if say I don't greet the person. But I know they allow person or me use my hand for greet another person.
Okay, you don't come on at your host, safely you can amongst. After we can amongst, lots of people in the can amongst, don't know they observe that one day. What about where you return at host for ensure the and the way you meet them safe?
The other one, for the fact that the mosque now a public place and everybody they enter and you don't know somebody in status. When I go back now, the same regular hand washing way so important. Instead I still wash my hand with clean water and soap before ever I enter and even play with my pikin or my wife.
My name is Aminata Escobar. I attend Christian Life Fellowship with the Mafoki. Well, my young girl where I play inside this pandemic where we call Corona. I dey always make sure say before I left me house, I dey wash my hand, get my face mask, use my sanitizer. Everywhere I dey go to church, I dey make sure say I no touch nobody. Before I dey enter church, I dey wash my hand and use my sanitizer. After church, don't do praise with God, do worship, everything. What kind of house? I make sure say I not touch nobody. I wash my hand. Even if somebody want to talk to me, for make sure say they 1 or 2 feet for me. So that will make for do that social distance, and we for do the wetin I call the precaution way government don't say we for do, and so now they all the prevent we follow, we no get this disease. So me on wetin I call me they try for talk and be gonna fumble do ya only we take to wetin government it say we do all wetin necessary follow we do for this securely left salon.
Na my name Usman ACC, a member of Basara Mosque na Potloko. Before they left my house early morning for go pray, I dey clean myself. After that, I hold ablution. After I hold ablution, I put on face masks. I go na mosque. So when I enter the mosque, I dey meet Veronica bucket. I wash my hand. After I wash my hand, I enter inside. And the social distance, we get on our own mosque, very near. So after I don't pray, make assalamu alaikum. I put my hand on my chest. I say assalamu alaikum. And even with Imam, they preach for that for say social distance is very important. This sick law not careless. And remember they say now we see where this sick they affect another country, so we need for sick prevention. So as for me, yes, the prevention is fine for we all na mosques, so we won't mosques not to take joke for that. So after that we don't pray. I make sure for say I come back, I put on face mask, say I go na my house, while I reach back na my house, I wash my hand, I enter inside.
My name is Cyrus Mohammed M. Kagbo of Faith Healing Bible Church, Potloko Central Branch. And of course, during this COVID-19 year, all the rules and regulations there where they present for now for follow, we can follow that, and even myself and work in our church. And of course, for we don't resume fellowship, but we ensure the social distance, and before ever somebody enter inside church, for make sure say because get 3 buckets them when with soap they are available. They when somebody for first of all wash hands them. After I wash hands, the next thing they consider now the face masks. Anyone will not go to face masks, will not allow them enter inside church. Okay, ask them then go back. Now also for go collect them because of which they've done. At least advise the church council or say all the protocols that were involved according to this virus, all things will be put in place, or else they will close the churches there. So as a result of that, we will follow all the rules and regulations there we involved for ensure that the COVID-19 will try for put an end to that by the special grace of God.
You don't talk about other people and you don't talk about the precaution the owner can do. So within a your role, you say your role, you have for common you host for ensure safe where they can at church is safe and where they go back. So within a your role as individual.
Well, one of my own role, one of the roles I can play as individual. One, I can always ensure what you call cleanliness. Can make sure say when I left my house, I make sure say I don't wash. Don't that much of shaking of hands. In fact, it is off. Instead, I'm off. Somebody go to distance, you make blow so, or you make like it's at a salute deposit so with my fingers there on my head. That's it. Or I clap my hands as a means of what greeting the person. Then I shake hands so that because they say prevention is better than cure. So these are some of the things that I can always make sure I put in place. And above all, 1 or 2 people for the trial for advice. If I see any carry somebody will come close and say for cash shake hand, I can make like a turn away. But I try at least let me shoulder part. If they come forcefully, we'll bind together. Or I join me 2 arms together as a form of greeting. So that anyway, follow will shake hands together.
Okay, what about the face mask, social distance in church?
Well, in fact, the face masks, I can always get one that is a supplementary face mask. One always there, whenever I move from the house, it can always there. Now, whenever I pull them, I fix them. When I move, I always move with the bag. The bag itself, it almost itself forget face masks. Of course, I get 3 bags that I can move with. So, fortunately, I can say, unfortunately, sometimes I will take another one. But if I move out and I not say hopefully there's a face mask for this side. So all my bags they are part of the one way always attached on my face. Always each of my bags they get a face mask.
So when you come on a church, after we the service done, you don't interact with other people, and though you don't say you observe everything we the need for observe. So when you come on a church, what you do for ensure say and the way you meet them back safe?
Well, one of the things like me in general, me I can work on English principle. I'm more of greeting. Why you turn and me also why you start just say if I store self and ensure that social distance, because sometimes the person will stay because man the principle of what yourself, your life now first. So if you always try for protect yourself, we protect yourself, other person will be protected.
That's how some worshippers them na post local, and then be they talk to Alaji Sanko where they work na Radio Banka Soccer. This na time for relax small and take a short music break.
COC Cabal, reaching out to you.
Young Lee on the beat.
All things never be alright. All things never be alright. All things never be alright. All things never be alright.
We shall overcome. 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 We shall overcome, we shall overcome.
Hot like can we not go? Ebola can we not go? Even flooding can we not go? We shall overcome. HIV no can we go? Malaria no can we go? Corona no go can we go? We shall overcome.
We be the chill, we the jog, we the jam, we the fly, we the go, we the come anytime where we want. We been the warrior. We must overcome. Right now we the lockdown. All the schools them, they no shut down. Me and my friend them, social distance, no more bank time. No, 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 no.
All things never be alright. 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 Jano stop, we must conquer. We keep this to celebrate the matter. Every situation God get the answer. Shut up. If you dey far away or you home, or if you dey inside you house,
sit down at your house.
Give thanks and praise for the breath you blow, cause no one knows tomorrow. Yeah. Disaster don't come, anger don't come, trouble don't come, champer don't come, bitch gun don't come, ISIS don't come, rebel don't come, poverty don't come.
We shall overcome. 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 We shall overcome.
Multiply can we not go? Ebola can we not go? Even flooding can we not go? We shall overcome. HIV no can we go? Malaria no can we go? Corona no go can we go? We shall overcome.
Home sweet home salon. We not forever ever run for we own. Home sweet home salon. We not for tire for a pray for we own.
Bad body cam, we don't jump and pass. Big foot back, we don't jump and pass. All kind beats, we don't drop and pass. We don't sip all things, we not drink pampas. Right now, I block na meals, bunker. I not get crowd time, I not clock on. Stay cool like the ice, I block on. Watch that for safety, I swear, they lock on.
Home sweet home salon. We not forever ever run for we own. Home sweet home salon. We not for tire for a pray for we own.
We shall overcome. 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 We shall overcome.
Welcome to the second segment of the program. Let we Tap Corona Na Salone. Members in Radio Mount Aureol-CTN Afrabe College na free to join on with in partner radio station them for bringing this program to you. And a Foundation Hirondelle na Switzerland They battle this program with funding from the H2H Network Fund and the Danish Refuges Council. The program they focus on the role of ordinary member in our mosque and church for make sure say we all safe from this corona sickness na salon. Me now na presenter Bintu Mansare. Inside the second segment na the program, we go hear from ordinary people them na Freetown. So make we start na the Eastern Freetown. Who side me workmates by Kande been go talk to some worshipper them.
Abubakar Sidik. I dey pray at different masjid then, like I can pray at the Brass Street, mosque, so you call the Fobe mosque. I can pray Godrich. When I buy Bangu family and I don't, I can pray at Limba mosque. At the 3 mosques and one, and they regularly where I can pray.
What's in your observation with regards safety of the people who they go worship na them masjid today, with regards the regulations the way they don't put forward for let them maintain?
Well, your observation we I don't get through. The Fobe Brass Street, the rules I go say now like and they observe 95 to 96% because they're strict. Even me one time, even the first day I go, will not be allowed me because the warriors why they go for go pray. The authority the way they say they're not going to expect like me so not go face mask because you know what say the masjid people they worry for meet up the time for the prayer. Not mean I not be get the face mask so. But the time for prayer take and say they take the face masks I don't late. So now the first time that one day they may not be allowed me to go inside. And the other time now, always where they go with the face masks. And then they put people there at the domots where they tell you say, if you not get a face mask, you need to go inside. The only thing will make you go under if you not get face masks, sometimes way then they can pray. You go this where you meet the Jamadi on prayer. First, you know, go down at the gate again for stop you. So now make the 4% where I reduce. But the 96% where I give them, all the rules and get social distance, they agree on a close, everybody they can inside the mosque. And of course, every Muslim, they wash you and always. The 5 daily prayer is there for wash you and before you pray. So then the all man they observe then they for the wash hand. Then the social distance, they observe. The face masks, I know I pull that 6% because some people there, when I pass by something, you not get face masks, they go inside the mosque, they need prayer. So now go able to tell you, person go tell you, say no, you not get face masks, no can inside. But if you can before the prayer they start, you just get for good face mask. If you not get face mask, you know they pray. And this Jumawa pray day, as long as the mosque to the capacity what the mosque wants. As the mosque full, they close the mosque. Pam. All man, you meet up to that social distance, you pray and do. You don't meet to the social distance, the capacity of the mosque. The filter the mosque will take for the social distance and close the mosque.
Okay, so the mosque in Jama, when I don't experience any case like any member show any symptoms or when I get a complaint of any member will die of any symptoms where they're not able to know what is the cause of death. Or when they receive frequent messages of people who they sick?
No, nothing like that. No ever get any sick, no ever complain, nothing like that. No get nothing. But the other mosques where I can pray about, like the Godrich mosque, because I can walk there. The other young bag are the same thing. Before you go to the mosques and get people holding at the gate, so they tell you, if you don't got face masks, no go there. But the other mosques where I pray, when are the Bamox, them I go say 80%. They're not ready to give you, then go sensitize you, tell you say yes, we observe the social distance, and you forget face masks. Then in the preacher every day, but then they're not ready to give. So then I go say 80% people in the corporate. But then 2 mosques and they that Godrich, Bangu Farm, and Fobe mosques, Brass Street. If you not go to face masks, obviously you need to go inside.
So what's the general message where you go send to other masjids them, where with regards to the cooperation of the adherence to the conditions and where them we don't give them? What's the message where you go give them at least?
Well, the message I go give them, I for let them go cooperate, and I believe say to all the mosques where I don't go, even if not they enforce the law. They preach to people then because the authorities then always before them they pray them go tell us say everybody let the count in face masks, let them observe the social distance. And I go left for advice back, let them continue to preach to people them, because some man, make that, say, I don't get bad name. But let them continue the preaching, talk to the people and sensitize them. Why they for use this face mask, say, for your own security one. So if you say that people use the face mask, I believe say let them observe that and they say that for your own safety, not for any other person.
My name is Hannah Margaret Karim. I attend St. Martin's Church, na Black Road. Well, towards the COVID-19, well, we don't put measures then in place. St. Martin's, of course. Like how they go, for instance, they go for make first wash one. Because if we not wash one, we go to church. We enter inside the church. Then we for put on with face masks. Then like before we be in a church, we dey congest. Like the chairs, they all be there together. But for now, we get one interval where you sit down. Like because a long bench is them. Where you sit up at one long bench. The other bench, nobody they sit down there. They get interval. They like one step. And everybody they put on masks. So you know get masks, they enter inside the church. And they go for any offer tea or so, they enter for that. Then they get other measures, they will not walk away again because like not just the church now they will occupy, but like now we get the hall because it's our first mass, so they occupy the church, they will occupy the hall. Then our second mass back, they occupy the church, they occupy the hall. For now not congest. Everybody for use masks always. For use masks on your face. Then for wash your hands as always before you enter inside the church.
So far, people then they do.
Yes, they comply. Anybody who enter inside that church, they get masks. Even the father, they put on masks on your face. So he say the mask is there, but he say they pray God, let God make this COVID done because like inside they feel irritated of the mask, but they use them. Everybody they use them at the church.
Yeah, I mean I wanna come and the church where they wanna fit liberation at the attend. The measures they didn't place because that distance and face mask. Of course, we can't say face masks for me. Exactly. And the abide to the rules and regulation. Like a Union Church faith liberation, would they go with the laws them precaution all through they do. As you say, although some people we still get people that deny this thing. But our people say this sick day, they don't deny them. And if you watch, for more we do this thing, they say the thing they reduce. If I remember last week something that key we get. So you see, because people listen to take the rules and regulation are much better, advices and they don't take them. They will not deny this thing, corona real thing a day. Or abide to the rules and regulation what the government say.
So una don't get any case of person we sick or we admit now in a church?
No, not get nobody we sick because all man they go to the rules and regulation of this coronavirus precautions. No get no sickness it, no get no illness it now we church.
Your name?
I'm named Musa Kamara. I pray now at Timini Mox. The Timini Central Mox. So I believe say we abide to the law. To what thing the government say for do, we do them by God in power. I would advise people for letting them able to do what thing the government want.
That's now waiting some people them na Eastern Freetown being get for say. From Eastern Freetown, I dey go na the central area who sign me other workmates and Midu Koroma. Then go talk to some people then.
It's a code. When I'm Muslim, if I use masks, either I put water that they come out of the mouth, you actually hand them, clean, fine. Then you do self space inside the mouth. What would they talk? How would they play? Let the go for yourself. I ain't there for the government to protect yourself.
We think say on a mocks, everybody can go they put on face masks and wear face masks.
Yes, why not? All man will do that. All man will do that because why? They left somebody in a domot. And domot is domot them. For check people there, see for you face mask, we don't get face mask, you can inside the mouth. Well, who will not touch yourself?
My name is Abdullah Sancho. At the top central of Freetown in a businessman. Get really Muslim there. They use their way to do them up. Or all the whole abolition, or 5 days per day. We pray, we take a seat, then a clean part of cleanness where God will provide. We don't pray, we pray to God back, we beg out. Which you don't have to let God forgive you. The measure, we will not deny the measure. Now, some people are get asthma. If you use that, they affect them. Not to all my division, we arrest I do this. Some people are get problem with them, and they will like, we need not to use that. Some people forget them, they forget. The government will do it here 1,000, waiting around the way about Africa.
Now, all man can comply the mocks for the face masks, the government will see all man for some face masks for the portion.
Yes, some people like you are not so all. But 90% they can use them after prayer, they pull out, when they go do their business. Because you will get that thing in the talk to what you come by the voice. And then the party put on them, it's not to you now.
Name of Stimampu, they talk from Kubewood Fireborn. As a worshipper, who would go to church. Thank God for the pastors. They advise people abide to the law. They advise people always to wash the hand because they don't put the little buckets now. At church we go to wash the hand. And then always they talk about each and every member of the enter inside church will get face mask. And I believe say we all get face mask. Then starting to back way I see way strange way they happen in our church now. That hugging and shaking will be the happy. Pastors don't stop now for now. So when as for now where this corona day with me for now, then we all stop for the hug and shake hands together. So we be
so you mean say the worshippers they observe social distance in the church?
Yes, sure. For now we they observe social distance. Even the church now, we get some member them, we get some certain capacity as reach at the church, pastor they advise the usher them for lock with the mouth. Anybody we can now advise them to stay now though. Because like for no more we get this social distance. That they not be the big so that they like the church they flop, the jump pack, they all the squeeze and all that thing. Then if it's pastor to say because of the time we government doing a 1 hour 30 minutes from 10 to 11:30 church from don't come out. And they go say well now let them send some chair and benches they let the one way they not do not say yes, then they say use them. Because like we all the worship together. So we never be at the situation as for now I happy.
Mina Abdurrahman Bangura at the talk from Kobe Road Fireborn. One thing was the mosques becoming a Muslim. Who they go pray, safety where after ablution they use hand sanitizer because you don't say ablution now water now they do they need no days after ablution I go use soap and water. Sanitizer no man believe. Then the second thing about the social distancing. How will be the near and the mosque? What will be the near and present the mosque beside the place. Then the face mask. We use face mask. Each one.
All man they use face mask way while you know mosque when they pray.
Well, me the mosque inside me they pray. And at the observe before at the start in the prayer. If no more the laws or the precaution the way them put. If the mosque don't go according to that, they pray this. The mosque inside they pray, they use face mask. We they use face mask. Most of you they use face mask. So they the too much. Now we need too much. And the second the other thing that because after salam, we they greet yourself, hug yourself. But now we don't come from that.
That's now waiting for people them na central part of Freetown get for say. For end the program, I they go na the west end of Freetown, Usai mi company Amza Ture, been go get the views of some worshipper them.
Well, actually, I know about the COVID-19, the kind of distortion we don't cause at the whole world. But as for we, the Nigeria, we obey the laws, what the government don't put in place, the mechanism. One of the law, for law we use face masks, wash hand, and the basic other needs there, what the government put in place, say this for observer, even the social distance.
Okay, so waiting personally you can do for like keep yourself safe when you the cannabis?
Well, I always do the law the government don't say, and I always sensitize people there. Say that for using face mask, wash their hand, everywhere they can pray, they forget some social distance. And they help for patronize to people there. Me and the Bilal and the call pray and the clean the mosques. I do any kind of work in the masjid.
Okay, so you don't talk say you personally you can obey the laws that we government put in place for people that they can at mosque and all. But how other you compete the way they can at mosque for prayer, how then can go with the law, with the Lord and the themselves can obey?
Well, actually the Imam can sensitize people and before whenever we start for prayer, it can call on the prayer. They sensitize people and before they start for prayer. Anybody will not get the face mask, we get persuaded outside. They remove her outside, see for camping because of they not use our face masks.
Okay, so whenever other people enter inside and they observe the social distance.
They always so they observe the social distance.
Okay, so like when I can get Boku people and we can come pray every day.
Well, no, except Friday. 2, 4, 6, and only Friday we can get people there for camping, Boku people there. But they also back they observe the social distance where the government puts in measure in place.
The government be unban all religious activities and make them resume back. So, but when you do that, you put rules and regulations in place for make the government ensure say then cut down the spread of the disease of the virus. So, how you as a Muslim when you can come to mosque, how far you can go for make you ensure say you cut down the spread?
Thank you very much. First to start with, the masjid gets rules and regulations. We at least, I think, say members or worshippers and they abide by. And to start with, before ever they enter the masjid, you'll find out say you see something where they up a sign that tells that without mask you're not supposed to enter the masjid. And when you enter the masjid, you'll find out say they see another instruction in there that wear your mask whenever you are in the mosque. So I mean we observe social distancing now, and we'll make sure that when you come inside the mosque, we get a Veronica bucket that you wash your hand if ever you enter the masjid.
Even after you do all ablution, you can still wash your hand before you enter?
Oh, definitely. Because of the rules that, and you just get to go by the instruction within the government say, you get to abide by that. After ablution, you can wash your hand.
So when you can pray, when prayers they go on, how you can turn up?
Well, with the social distancing, with the distance we save, we need a group together with the distance we save at least 2 or 3 meters of each other.
Okay. Then this common practice in Islam most of the time when Muslims they don't pray down, that they greet themselves assalamu alaikum and shake hands. You can still do that?
No, well, all incidents they will be doing before, but as for now, from starting of the corona, government we don't say, I mean, at least we not for distance ourselves from greeting each other, or if possible, I mean, we can just give ourselves elbow at least for share the respect. But I mean, for some, shaking hands, no, we not do that now.
Just like the measures, the way the government puts in the well-bodied people, and we follow them. Like one for the social distance, you don't understand, overcrowding, and things like that. And for regularly wash me hand, for avoid touch me face, me eye, and me nose, so that I go avoid them and let me back no get them from person and shake hand. Because if the person get them or you don't know if you can't get them, don't understand if she can with her, you back will get her. So they avoid all the things in there. And they put me mask whenever they in a place so I know see people in the pass.
That's now waiting some worshippers them na the west end of Freetown. Been say but waiting them safe they do for make sure say all man safe now with different place them of worship na the country. So we go tap this edition of we program. Now we tap Corona Na Salone yaso. Members say na Radio Mount Aureol-CTN Afrabe College. Now Freetown join now with the radio station where you listen to for bring come this program to you. And a Foundation Hirondelle na Switzerland, they battle this program with funding from the H2H Network Fund and the Danish Refuges Council. Thank you to the production team, assistant producer Mary Alpha, producer Emmanuel Nyake Momo, senior producer Musa Baisise, and executive producer James Tambalebi. Until we meet again for the next edition, now we make sure that we do waiting the well body master sabi people them they say for keep we mosques and church them safe all time for worship God. Me now una presenter Bintu Mansare they say tata.
I got this message for you. Corona now they picking all they watch first. Let me tell you the truth.
Mama, social distancing, all the kids
so let me all hear you. Take the precautions, take them up. Corona no limba, enough to be